So this is the public face. I am not logged in. The general public can and will go here. And they do, and for good reason, and we want them to go here because they can search for 99% of our orgs, search and find 99% of our orgs. That means they can look at those orgs, they can look at the events the orgs produce, and they can look at the rosters of those orgs if their settings are to public. And for prospective students, for their parental and familial stakeholders, that's a really important reflection that the institution can give of the ways in which we provide these structures for students to engage with each other and to learn. And in addition, to visually sort of get a suspicion of the diversity of the student body. And hopefully, if you're a parent and you're going to browse organizations, you're going to eventually bump into one of those where you're going to say to yourself, I can see my kid being a part of this group, you know? Because our organizations are spread all across types of aggregate groups. Also, they can go into the events and see what kind of stuff happens. If they go to an org, they can open up the galleries and see what sort of spectacles can be made, especially in the international world. You know, there's a lot of folks who are using their dance competition photos. So you can go into an organization, you can see these people are really active. They're really active. They do traditional dancing from my country. And guess what? They're not all from my country. So there's some diversity within the organization. So that's the public face. You can search for anything from here. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I'm just gonna type in green. I type in green, and I can see that President's Park Greenhouse, Mason Sustainability, and for some reason the George Mason Tennis Club show up. I think that's probably because they play tennis on grass. Yeah, or on tennis greens, yeah. But if I'm thinking I'm a green person, this is going to tell me right away, well, I could do green things there. There's a greenhouse and there's an Office of Sustainability. That resonates with the kind of person that I am. Upcoming events, the public can browse these events. They can browse organizations. They can check the latest news that's coming out of organizations. And if they want to use some campus links, they can bounce around as well. Look at University Life, look at the student involvement page. So I'm going to sign in. All students are a part of the campus file, or the census file, which usually is on day 10 of the fall semester, are bulk uploaded to Get Connected. When they go to getconnected.gmu.edu and log in, they will find a bare bones profile already exists for them with their first and last name, G number, and enrollment term. So we like to encourage that everyone with a profile make it as complete as possible. That includes us. With a photo, that's been our preference. Campus email, demographics, and social media profile links. There's a lot of other opportunities for information, but you don't need to share your home phone, your address, anything like that. So I'm signing in. It'll let me. And naturally, you get challenged by Shibboleth here. It's authentication. And I get challenged every time I have to type that password. So this is my home page. When you log in the first time, the system is seeing that I'm an administrator. You are not administrators, don't worry about it. But when you hit it for the first time, this interface, the system will pop some things up and say, hey, you could do this here. And this is where you get to do this and get to do this. Because there's some tools in this big white space that are almost hidden. Note that on my homepage there are some views of a select number of organizations that I belong to. Actually, I belong to like 70 because I'm the placeholder primary contact. So if you belong to 2 or 3, and if you're an officer in one, you will see a manageable list there. And there's quick access to all of the organizational pages in which I'm a member or an officer, as well as an invitation from Get Connected to view the organization directory in case I'm not involved enough. So, below my organizations is the Opportunities Board. That's what we call this. It's a staple on everybody's homepage, and it also shows up on all organization pages with their events. And this gives a taste of the events posted on to Get Connected by student organizations. Mason resident student neighborhoods, academic affairs, and student services offices. And I can view all events on my page by clicking the View All, where one can search for events in a variety of ways by using a search keyword, by the theme, by the date, by the category, and the perks. And it shows a dozen at a time, so I can load more, 12 at a time. So below the Opportunities Board, and I'm going to collapse this if I can. Back. Below the Opportunities Board is the news area where campus news and organization news share about 25% of the page. So this is an important feature, and I would advise if you're going to do some news, upload a photo. This is a big chunk of territory, and it's free. And it doesn't get a lot of use by people posting news articles. So this is a great opportunity to market something that's not a specific event, that's an initiative, something that's already occurred that you're very excited about, something coming up in the near future that you're not going to schedule or you're not going to post, or welcoming a new boss. So next to the news area is my doorway to the Patriot Pathways. That's the Patriot Experience. In case you are a member, and I'm a fake member because I'm part of the team, and I've actually completed some things. So this is your doorway into Pathways, and that's what that looks like. If you're on Pathways, you can see your progress overall, and you can click in. So this is my well-being. So you can see my progress in well-being. You can see the domain that I'm progressing in, and you can see my opportunities for more things to do. While a user is at their profile page, let's talk about a few things that need doing to maximize the user experience. All University Life staff and students are highly recommended to upload a profile photo in order that others can appreciate the apparent diversity in our offices and student organizations. I think I pretty much said that. When searching for organizations to join, students love to see other students and to see themselves in the faces of student support staff. So contact information can be important for some of us and for student organization leaders, as often Get Connected is the front porch of the University Life offices and student organizations. And we want to be reachable. And we'll see a little more of this, but that happens right up here. This is the user drawer, and this is where I get to manage myself. And in myself, if I click my face, is where I get my profile, and I can adjust that. We'll see the user drawer again. When you open your drawer by clicking your user face, you can check your account information. Go back there. Your profile, your contact information, and your privacy settings, which is really, really important. Notifications, some communications that might have come from you. Maybe you need to review an event. Maybe there's somebody is letting you know about an event you might enjoy. Notifications of all sort will be available here. And interests, just in case the student wants to declare their interests, the system has an algorithm, theoretically, that will match their interests with interests that are indicated for student organizations. So the system will make suggestions. When you click your user drawer, you can check your account information and profile, manage your interests. Your messages are very important, and the applications or requests that you have to review or authorize. So I encourage you to check out the contents of your user drawer really quickly, because this is the place you're going to want to go. This is the drawer at your right hand if you're right-handed. Privacy settings are important to manage. here you can decide which parts of your profile and contact information you want to be visible by the Mason community, by members who have logged into the system. And important decisions need to be made in organization roster settings, which are down here below. By default, unless you've chosen to show your membership in an organization and get connected, your photo and your presence on the organization roster will be hidden to the general public, but visible to anybody logging in the system using their NetID and strong password. And again, we in general recommend that users make this choice to show profile, as we hope that students contemplating coming to Mason will be browsing student organizations. If one wants to remain hidden from all eyes except senior platform administrators, then consciously choosing hide will accomplish this. And there are some reasons that people have. There are business cases for this.